Still some interesting things going on with the Mario stuff. It still made $20 million on Monday. $20 million on a Monday. Some movies, that's all they make domestic the whole opening weekend, and they made this on a Monday. I really do think that this movie could hit some serious heights. There's an analyst out there who believes that the movie could generate around $3.5 billion. You think critics are salty now? Let this movie hit $3.5 billion. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think $2 billion is out of the question at this point. It's really going to depend on how this next weekend goes. Like, as of right now, Mario has the theaters to himself until Guardians of the Galaxy. There are other movies coming out, but as far as like a competitor for a family event, Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the closest, even though I wouldn't say that's I don't mean it's not a movie you can't take your family to see, but a traditional children's family movie is something like Mario, which you don't see that much of anymore. So I think that this movie could have legs for months. It's possible. It really is. But $3.5 billion, I don't know. That is a big one. MST Financial Senior Analyst David Gibson has told news site Axios that he believes the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is already breaking records, will generate around $3.5 billion. Breaking that figure down, Mr. Gibson says that he is confident that the Super Mario Bros. Movie will earn $1.2 billion at the global box office and an additional $2.3 billion from its upcoming digital release. In the end, he predicts that Nintendo will walk away with about 150 billion yen, which is $1.1 billion, after offsetting the cost of the Super Mario Bros. Movie and its share with partnered animation studio Illumination. So that makes a little bit more sense. So $1.2 billion at the box office, I think it can hit that. $2.3 billion from its digital release. Now, that's not just digital. That's also physical. So Blu-rays, DVDs, 4K Blu-rays. I mean, I've already pre-ordered the 4K Blu-ray for this. This movie is going to have a big sale for home because people will buy these movies for their kids. I do think you see that number when you combine it. The problem is we don't know what sells on digital or even physical anymore. There's not really a number anymore for this stuff to know. But I do think, a lot of people will buy this movie, and I think that that's something that it could possibly hit. Disney's got to be crying right now after seeing this $3.5 billion. That used to be their number, but they're too busy worrying or not if they're going to get fired. Woke Disney shattering lives, creating culture of fear as mass layoffs continue. Imagine being at Disney right now. 7,000 jobs. You could have been there and been the best employee, and they're going to kick you out the door. People are going to be walking around sweating bullets right now in that company. Like, am I next? Am I the next guy to go? I mean, they've already folded Marvel Entertainment and absorbed it over into other studios or other parts of Disney. So it's an interesting thing. This whole month is layoff time. So, I mean, we're not done. They're talking about doing this all month. So I do wonder how is this going to affect you? Bob Iger is sitting there seething, by the way, at this box office for Mario. I can't wait for the next Disney. I think it's got that. I don't know the name of it, but there's a Pixar movie coming out soon where there's elements. I think it's just called Elemental or Element or something. I can't wait to see what that movie does at the box office. That's really going to tell the picture. That and Guardians of the Galaxy are going to tell the picture of where Disney is right now, because Disney depends on the comic book market, and they also depend on their animated movies. They've had quite a few bombs in a row animated-wise. So, I mean, other than Avatar 2, what else have they had a big time with in theaters? Avatar 2, honestly, wasn't even theirs. That started at Fox. Oh, we'll see. But, yeah, this movie's doing good, $20 million. Critics Finally getting called out by their own. The Guardian puts this out. Pushing buttons. The Super Mario Brothers movie is just fine, but what else did you expect? I mean, I think that's a fair question. What the hell were you looking for in here? My favorite example is saying, like, did they expect Mario to quote Shakespeare and hold a skull? Because that's not what this shit is. It's a movie based on a guy that hits blocks. Another big note for Disney here. In less than a week, the Super Mario Brothers movie already has surpassed Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It is now the highest grossing movie in the domestic box office. The funny thing here, as this person points out, didn't it take Ant-Man like 5 weeks to hit 400 million? That's sad. And as pointed out here by this gentleman, Chuck here, Mario hasn't even hit Japan yet. The movie comes out in Japan, I think, next week finally. They had to wait 2 weeks. I don't know why, but it's finally coming out in Japan next week. Wait till that box office hits. It's going to do a lot of money there, too. Chris Pratt shown why everybody loves him. Chris Pratt celebrates Super Mario Brothers movie success with family trip. Unbelievably grateful. Thank you to everyone who checked out the Super Mario Brothers movie this weekend. I mean, who else does that? Nobody else thinks fans like him. This is why they don't like him. They don't like him for reasons like this. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.